I'm Carolyn Davis. We're doing the My Town video series and really excited to be here with Ryan Egley of the Lawrence County Chamber. Ryan, thanks for sitting in and so excited to learn a little bit more. If you'll tell us what area you represent, maybe some special characteristics, and kind of just some highlights from your community.
Sure. So, as Carolyn mentioned, I'm with the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce. We're located in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, but represent all of Lawrence County. And Lawrence County has a population of about 45,000 people. We are about an hour and a half south of Nashville, so we're in southern middle Tennessee, which is a very high growth area. Yeah, it's very busy. We have a very diverse economy, manufacturing, healthcare, finance, especially for a rural area. So a lot of good stuff going on.
Awesome. And how long have you been in the area and also with the Chamber?
Yeah, sure. So I was born and raised in Lawrenceburg. I've been with the Chamber now, it'll be 6 years in August of this year. So good stuff there.
Awesome. Well, I know we met, I've been at the Chamber almost 8 years,
Yeah.
so about the same time. Well, from a business perspective, in your area, we'd love to hear what the most common business challenges are and what you hear
Sure.
from business leaders.
Sure. So when we're talking with our members and businesses in the community and really throughout the region, we're hearing a few different things. The primary one being labor related, whether it's workforce development or talent attraction, something else. And a part of that really is also housing. We hear a lot around housing. And then lastly, mental health and substance abuse issues. We deal a lot with that. We work with our Sheriff's Department in Lawrence County for that, as well as some other community groups that are resource providers, whether it's mental health or substance abuse.
Okay.
So.
That's definitely a statewide issue. I know the states address that, so it's
Yes.
nice to have that local community outreach
Yes.
too. So what is something unique or progressive that you and Lawrence County have been working on to advance the agenda for the business community?
Sure. So yeah, the Lawrence County Chamber has been involved with a number of higher education initiatives for a number of years. Whether it was Columbia State bringing them to our community back in the late 80s to most recently we announced or really opened the Southern Tennessee Higher Education Center, which is something that we call a communiversity, which is community college built with Tennessee Technological University and now UT Southern will all be housed or have a part in a singular building. So we've built a new campus in Lawrenceburg, which is really exciting. And that's, again, that kind of workforce development piece, but also, I mentioned a little bit ago, talent attraction. And so during the pandemic, one of the coolest things to come from it, from our perspective, was a movement called Nashville's Big Backyard, which is really a back to the land, rural renaissance, if you will, where we try to attract people to say, hey, here's a different quality of life that maybe you had never considered before. And there are these counties between Franklin and then the Shoals in North Alabama that you can move to. And there's a lot of creativity and culture and history and, of course, quick access to these larger metros as well. So those are the two things, especially more recently, that we've been working on.
Okay, and so have you seen a shift in the last year and a half since COVID hit of kind of an influx to your community?
Yes, so we were tracking some pretty interesting growth right before the pandemic hit. One of the best talking points from 2018 and into 2019 was that a new family a day moved to Lawrence County, so 4 people a day. And we've seen a lot of housing development associated with that, and now currently reflected, and really it's growing faster through COVID. So that's one thing about the census. It was done during COVID, during 2020, and we're seeing it actually accelerate now. So how accurate will the numbers be, we'll see.
What are some of the biggest, you mentioned industry, what are some of the bigger industries that you work with and companies in Lawrence County?
Sure, so we're lucky we have a number of headquartered operations in Lawrence County. With that said, the largest industry by employment is Modine Manufacturing. They do heat transfer equipment for a few different types of industries, whether it's automotive or commercial like John Deere, tractors and such. But I mentioned we have a diverse industry base, so not just do we have automotive, but we have Cabinets to Go, which is a national headquarters, distribution operations center there in Lawrenceburg, as well as graphic packaging, corrugated cardboard packaging, robotics and DRM LLC, also Rick's Barbecue. And those are two startups that are just entrepreneurs that started a number of years ago. I think Rick's Barbecue has now been in business for just over 40 years. They're headquartered in Lawrence County, actually in Leoma, and they have stores all over North Alabama and in Middle Tennessee. And so, again, very diverse, very lucky for that. We're very fortunate and blessed to have that. But on top of that, we have Southern Tennessee Regional Health Systems Lawrenceburg, which is our hospital, doing very well right now, as well as a robust finance sector. We have a lot of banks in our community. So again, from an employment diversity perspective, very lucky as well. We were pretty resilient through the pandemic.
That's awesome. That's really good to hear. Well, I'm gonna ask one more question,
Okay.
kind of wrap up. Can you tell us some of the ways that you're engaging with your local officials as well as the state lawmakers in Tennessee?
Sure, well, let's definitely start at the local level because that's where we live.
Mhm.
It's really just keeping them informed on the current issues and the trends, whether it's around growth, what people moving to our community are looking for in a community, the needs of our existing friends and neighbors that are there, and how we want to progress. So one thing through those conversations that have happened, especially over the past couple of years, is new downtown development. So a lot of new sidewalk and revitalization, specific in the Loretto and the Lawrenceburg communities. Another part of those things have also been revitalized parks plan. So we have 4 cities in Lawrenceburg, or in Lawrence County. There's Etheridge, Lawrenceburg, Loretto, and St. Joseph, and all 4 have undergone some pretty awesome parks and recreation type things, and that of course improves the livability of our community.
Absolutely.
So we do that by listening to our business community and our constituency, and then communicating that to them pretty regularly. At the state level, just maintaining good relationships with our delegation. Again, we have some great legislators that we call, they pick up the phone, they're there, they're present in our community on a regular basis, and so we just maintain relationships.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, thank you so much. I guess just in any closing remark, if you could, if somebody asked your favorite 2 things about your community, 2 or 3 things,
Sure.
what would you say?
It's just the quality of life we have in Lawrence County. It's also the proximity. I was telling Keely on the way up today to the chamber event that rural Tennessee has really a bigger world. We have access to other markets, whereas people in urban areas, they may stay in their central market. And so we love where we live because we get to access other places and travel around, to also have the low cost of living, great quality of life for Lawrence County. So come join us sometime.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Carolyn.